Aries, the zodiac's herald of action, carries an inner flame that transcends the obvious traits of boldness and spontaneity. Born between March 21 and April 19 under Mars's fiery influence, they possess hidden wells of power that transform fleeting impulses into enduring achievements. Their true strength lies not only in visible courage but in a constellation of talents: spontaneous courage, boundless energy, impulsive creativity, leadership instinct, and fearless initiative, that work in harmony to make them unstoppable. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll explore how each of these hidden powers fuels Aries' trailblazing journey, from the instant spark of bravery that ignites new ventures to the sustained momentum that carries them through obstacles, to the instinctive vision that guides teams, and the audacity to act before opportunity fades. As you discover these gifts, you'll gain insight into Aries' unique alchemy, understanding how headlong passion, tempered by instinct and innovation, creates a force of nature capable of reshaping any landscape they enter. 1. Spontaneous courage. Aries doesn't wait for permission, they leap headfirst into the unknown, guided by an unwavering belief in their own resilience. This spontaneous courage springs from a deep-rooted trust in instinct and an internal mantra that fear is a signal, not a stop sign. When faced with daunting decisions, a last-minute proposal at work, an unplanned road trip to chase inspiration, or a heartfelt confession to a loved one, they bypass hesitation and act, often catching others by surprise. Yet this isn't reckless bravado, it's the distilled wisdom of countless past leaps that landed them safely on solid ground. Their boldness stems from experience. Each risk taken, whether it led to triumph or lesson, reinforced their confidence in mind and muscle. Through spontaneous courage, Aries teaches that waiting once we know our impulse is right only stalls the magic of the moment, and that the first step taken with wholehearted conviction can change the course of a lifetime. 2. Boundless energy. Where others tire after the first burst of activity, Aries thrives on momentum, embodying boundless energy that regenerates itself through passion and purpose. They approach every endeavor as an all-systems-go mission, infusing both routine tasks and extraordinary challenges with contagious dynamism. Dawn often finds them up and moving, hitting the gym, mapping out their goals, or brainstorming ideas, long before sunrise signals most people's day. Their secret lies in aligning energy expenditure with their deepest motivations. When excitement courses through their veins, fatigue becomes a distant concept. They recharge not through long, passive rest but via bursts of creative play or meaningful interaction, launching a spontaneous sketch session, exploring new routes during a midday jog, or rallying friends for an impromptu brainstorming lunch. Because they view vitality as a renewable resource fueled by enthusiasm rather than a finite reserve, Aries propels projects forward with an intensity that magnetizes collaborators and accelerates progress. Boundless energy, they demonstrate, isn't about endless output but about synchronizing drive with passion, so every heartbeat reverberates with purpose. 3. Impulsive creativity. Aries' creativity ignites in an instant flash of inspiration, an image, a phrase, or a melody, that they capture and shape before it dissipates. Unconstrained by overanalysis, they sketch concepts on coffee-stained napkins, draft prototypes on tabletops, or pen evocative lines of copy in voice notes while on the move. This impulsive creativity thrives on the intersection of spontaneity and skill. They've honed their craft, whether in design, storytelling, or entrepreneurship, so thoroughly that their first creative impulse often embodies refined expertise. When collaborators witness Aries leap from zero to prototype in an afternoon, they see a living example of innovation without hesitation. Aries then refines these raw sparks through collaborative feedback loops, polishing initial ideas into breakthrough solutions. Their process reminds us that waiting for perfect conditions stifles magic, and that allowing creativity to flow unhindered in the moment, then channeling it through practiced skill, yields originality that feels both fresh and finely tuned. 4. Leadership instinct. Beneath Aries' blazing enthusiasm lies an instinctive capacity to guide and galvanize others. They sense the unspoken currents within a team, the hidden talents waiting to be tapped, the morale dips masked by polite smiles, and the strategic blind spots that threaten progress. Without waiting for formal titles, they step forward to articulate vision, assign roles that match individual strengths, and foster an atmosphere where direct communication and mutual respect thrive. Their leadership flows from innate authority rather than imposed hierarchy, as they lead by example, tackling the toughest tasks first, celebrating collaborators' small wins, and maintaining composure under pressure. In high-stakes situations, Aries' instinct sharpens. They read the room, pivot strategies in real time, and offer decisive direction that breaks gridlock. By coupling instinct with empathy, they demonstrate that effective leadership arises when we trust both our own insights and the collective wisdom of those we guide. 5. Fearless initiative. Aries doesn't wait for opportunities, they create them, seizing the first crack in the wall and widening it into a grand opening. Their fearless initiative shows up in everyday life, pitching a new idea in a meeting without an invitation, organizing a spontaneous hackathon to solve a nagging problem, or volunteering to lead a community project when no one else steps forward. Initiative for Aries is a reflex born of confidence. They know that starting action is the surest way to learn, adapt, and succeed. They chart each new venture with minimal bureaucracy, sketching quick plans, rallying willing participants, and diving in with the assumption that the path will clear underfoot. This approach often accelerates timelines, as speed of execution trumps endless deliberation. Their willingness to initiate, even when conditions seem less than ideal, inspires others to join in, turning solitary ambition into collaborative momentum. Through fearless initiative, Aries reveals that the power to shape our world lies in the courage to begin, and that every great accomplishment starts with a single act of daring. 6. Passionate empathy. Aries' passionate empathy is a potent blend of feeling and fierce support, allowing them to connect deeply with others' emotions and transform that understanding into tangible action. When someone shares a struggle, whether it's self-doubt before a big presentation or personal grief after a loss, Aries doesn't offer detached sympathy. Instead, they step into the fire alongside that person, matching vulnerability with candid acknowledgement of pain and an unwavering promise of solidarity. They might send a spontaneous care package filled with comforting items, carve out time in their own busy schedule for a long conversation, or rally friends to surround the person with encouragement. This empathy also fuels their proactive support. They anticipate emotional needs by observing nonverbal cues, hesitation in speech, shifts in posture, or a tremor of emotion, and intervene with heartfelt offers of help before a request is made. Their passionate empathy drives them to champion causes that heal collective wounds, from organizing community dialogues on mental health to launching support networks for underrepresented voices. By pairing deep feeling with bold action, Aries demonstrates that empathy isn't passive but incendiary. It sparks compassion-fueled deeds that ignite hope and foster resilience in everyone they touch. 7. Protective devotion. Aries' protective devotion is a fierce, unwavering loyalty that transforms them into guardians of the people and principles they hold dear. When loved ones face threats, emotional, professional, or physical, they become the first line of defense, channeling Mars-driven courage into steadfast advocacy. They negotiate on behalf of colleagues under unfair pressure, confront bullies who target friends, and use their influence to secure resources for those in need. This devotion extends beyond moments of crisis into daily life. They remember small personal details, medical appointments, deadlines, milestones, and proactively check in, ensuring no challenge goes unaddressed. In relationships, their protectiveness balances freedom and safety, offering space while erecting boundaries that shield against toxic influences. Even in group endeavors, Aries' devotion fosters a culture of mutual care. They lead by example, reminding teams that genuine success lies in lifting one another up, not just individual triumphs. Through protective devotion, Aries teaches that true strength isn't measured by how fiercely one can fight alone but by how fiercely one fights for others, turning courage into a collective shield that emboldens everyone under its cover. 8. inspirational motivation. Aries possesses the gift of inspirational motivation, a magnetic drive that turns visions into collective missions. They ignite passion in others by sharing stories of their own trials and triumphs, illustrating how obstacles become stepping stones when faced with determination. In team settings, they lead with electrifying speeches that outline bold goals and clearly map out the path forward, galvanizing colleagues to exceed self-imposed limits. They personalize encouragement by identifying each person's unique strengths, reminding a reserved teammate of their analytical brilliance or urging a creative colleague to trust in their innovative flair, and then publicly celebrate every victory, big or small, to fuel ongoing momentum. Aries also uses setting challenges as a motivational tool, friendly competitions, goal-oriented workshops, and milestone ceremonies that inject fun into progress tracking. Their unfiltered authenticity, acknowledging setbacks alongside successes, builds trust and inspires others to bring both their best efforts and genuine selves to the collective endeavor. Through inspirational motivation, Aries shows that leadership thrives when it awakens inner drive in every individual, turning solitary aspirations into unified surges of purposeful energy. 9. Playful charm. Underneath Aries' warrior exterior lies a playful charm that diffuses tension and invites others to engage with light-hearted openness. They wield humor as a bridge, sharing witty observations and timely jokes that make daunting tasks feel more approachable. In high-pressure moments, tight deadlines, tense negotiations, or emotional conversations, they sprinkle levity through a well-timed quip or a spontaneous game, instantly shifting the atmosphere from rigid formality to collaborative ease. Their playful spirit sparks creativity, brainstorming sessions become dynamic improv exercises, routine meetings transform into themed challenges, and even strategic planning acquires an element of surprise with gamified milestones. Aries' charm extends to personal interactions, where they remember favorite jokes, use playful nicknames, and initiate impromptu celebrations that foster camaraderie. This lightness doesn't undermine seriousness, rather, it reminds everyone that joy and productivity are not mutually exclusive. Through their playful charm, Aries teaches that an atmosphere of genuine fun cultivates trust, encourages risk-taking, and ultimately elevates both morale and innovation in any group. 10. Unwavering loyalty. Aries' loyalty is unwavering, a steadfast force that binds them to individuals and ideals with fierce commitment. Once they pledge support, to a friend, a cause, or a team, they remain steadfast regardless of changing circumstances. This loyalty manifests in late-night pep talks for discouraged friends, defending colleagues in their absence, and continuing to champion projects when enthusiasm elsewhere wanes. They honor promises with remarkable consistency, following through on commitments even when doing so demands personal sacrifice. Their fierce allegiance also extends to their own principles. Aries stands by values of fairness, honesty, and personal authenticity, refusing to compromise integrity for convenience. In communities, their loyalty fosters deep trust, as members know they can rely on Aries' consistent presence and advocacy. By modeling unwavering loyalty, Aries demonstrates that true bonds, whether between people or to ideals, are forged in reliability and sacrifice, creating foundations strong enough to weather any storm. 11. Decisive action. Aries transforms intention into reality through decisive action, acting on conviction the moment clarity strikes. When a challenge arises, whether a critical business decision, a creative crossroads, or a personal dilemma, they trust their inner compass rather than wait for consensus. This immediacy prevents second-guessing and harnesses momentum. Plans drafted one day become prototypes or proposals the next. Colleagues marvel at how Aries accelerates project timelines, sidestepping endless meetings by convening quick huddles that yield instant yes or no verdicts. Their friends depend on them to initiate solutions in crises, organizing emergency aid, mediating conflicts, or simply taking charge when direction falters. This bold approach relies on a foundation of experience. Having weathered past gambits, Aries has cultivated a finely tuned instinct for when swift moves will yield outsized gains. Through decisive action, they teach us that the window for opportunity is often fleeting, and that the courage to act decisively can turn potential into performance before hesitation closes the door. 12. Fearless innovation. Innovation for Aries is not a cautious experiment but a fearless leap into the unknown, fueled by an unshakable belief that unconventional ideas pave the way to progress. They question entrenched assumptions. Why follow a roadmap when a new path offers greater promise, and prototype radical solutions, whether reimagining customer experiences, reinventing product lines, or redefining organizational culture. Their labs range from impromptu whiteboard brainstorms to marathon hackathons, each driven by the conviction that even failures carry the seeds of breakthrough. When others balk at risk, Aries pilots untested concepts, learns through rapid iteration, and scales only what survives real-world trials. Their fearless innovation inspires teams to unlearn rigid models and embrace creative chaos, demonstrating that true pioneers balance imagination with tenacity to turn bold ideas into lasting impact. 13. Trailblazer spirit. Aries embodies the trailblazer spirit, forging new frontiers rather than settling familiar ground. They spearhead initiatives in emerging markets, champion novel social causes, and pioneer interdisciplinary collaborations that merge art, science, and technology. This power springs from an innate restlessness, a drive to explore unexplored territories where they can leave an indelible mark. When faced with uncharted challenges, Aries sees opportunity rather than risk, inspiring followers to join expeditions that reshape industries and communities. Their trailblazer spirit teaches us that leadership often means being the first to step forward, setting precedents that others will follow long after the path grows crowded. 14. Adaptive momentum. Maintaining momentum amid shifting circumstances is a hidden art Aries have mastered. They balance bold advances with tactical pivots, adjusting strategies on the fly in response to new data, team feedback, or market currents. By treating plans as living frameworks, they sustain forward thrust without losing sight of objectives. Whether reallocating resources when priorities shift or repackaging offerings for emerging audiences, Aries finds creative ways to preserve energy and morale. Their adaptive momentum ensures that even setbacks feed progress, turning each obstacle into a fresh opportunity to refine approach and accelerate again. Through this power, they demonstrate that true resilience is not simply weathering change but harnessing it to amplify velocity. 15. Karmic courage. Aries' courage extends beyond personal ambition into the realm of karmic responsibility, compelling them to confront injustice and champion ethical causes with unwavering conviction. They stand up for marginalized voices, call out systemic wrongs, and invest their energy in movements that align with a higher moral compass. This karmic courage is fueled by the belief that personal actions ripple outward, shaping collective destiny. They take public stands, whether in corporate boardrooms demanding equitable practices or in grassroots campaigns defending human rights, knowing that sacrifice is often necessary for broader transformation. Through karmic courage, Aries models how bold action grounded in principle accelerates social progress and leaves a legacy of justice. 16. Transformative confidence. At the apex of Aries' hidden powers lies a transformative confidence, not mere bravado, but a deeply rooted self-trust forged through trial and triumph. This confidence radiates, empowering others to believe in their own potential. Aries shares their journey candidly, detailing challenges overcome and lessons learned, removing the mystique from success and inviting collective empowerment. Their presence transforms group dynamics, elevating collective ambition and reassuring doubters that growth is attainable. By wielding confidence as a communal resource rather than a solitary shield, Aries teaches that self-belief becomes truly transformative when generously shared. These 16 hidden powers, from spontaneous courage and boundless energy to karmic courage and transformative confidence, combine to forge Aries into an unstoppable force of nature. Their secret lies in weaving fearless action with strategic adaptability, empathic zeal, and an uncompromising moral center. Aries blazes new paths while uplifting those alongside them, illustrating that true power emerges at the intersection of boldness and compassion. In embracing these gifts, we learn that our own inner fire can ignite profound change, lighting our personal journeys, illuminating collective possibilities, and forging a legacy that burns bright long after the first spark.